All systems go. Cleared for liftoff. I don't even know if I can do this. Look at this guy. What's up, everyone? Tyler Tamboline here, a.k.a. ToeTagginTambo, and we're back. It's a two-game Monday Night Football edition to wrap up Week 6. We got Hoopster here with me, like always. I'm ToeTagginTambo. We got Crop Top in Titletown. He's going to be breaking it all down today with you guys. The bet, so Title, I'm going to you first. It is Judkins versus Warren. Neither did anything, but Judkins lost. The 78.5 prop got you. The prop turned into the crop. Now look at this guy's crop top. Got spaghetti straps and all.
Yeah, I mean, and this is how my Sunday went. If you really want to know how it is, my own DFS play. Yeah, I got my teeth kicked in every which way. Judkins did absolutely nothing, and yeah, that's a bet, man. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot of people watch yesterday's show. Yeah, I lost a bet and I paid my bets. So I gave Hoop 3 options. My sister laid out some options for me, and a Hoop, of course, picked the one that was like this. So
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna offer that up as payment, I mean, the first one was like a little girl's t-shirt, something I'd probably find in my daughter's closet. The second was like a little striped thing, similar, but it was a V-neck. And then you show me that option, like literally a spaghetti strap, tight ass belly shirt. I'm of course gonna pick that one. I do appreciate the quick payment. Like, you're not going to have to do this the entire show, that's for sure. So appreciate the quick payment. I was prepared to pay up too. I have a lot. I mean, there's no excuse. Like it took me a while to do the shoey. I admit that, but it was good, and I got the video. That takes some planning, but the belly shirt payment would have been easy for me. I have a wife that is relatively small in size, or that is small in size. I have a daughter that is small in size. I would have been able to pay up with a lot of options. I don't know if I would have gone the spaghetti strap route, I'll be honest with you, but I give you credit for paying up right out of the gate. And I wish I could have victory lapped Jalen Warren over Butkins, but I really can't. But that's a bet, and you paid up. I appreciate it.
One thing, so I will say this: so Title's like the most humble person on the planet. He crushes everything he does. He's the best plus EV finder in the world. I could talk about him for days on this level. He's amazing. But I am pretty good at betting against Hoop and getting my way on them. I would say this: there should have been a minimum requirement in there of like at least do something, because it's not like Warren did shit. This guy did nothing, and we still got to see this man pay up. He's got his he looks like Jackson Dart, who picked up his daughter's necklace and put it on. You know how Scat got the big chain, and then Dart's like, oh, I just found my sister's little necklace, and I threw it on. And I kind of liked it. Now I run with it. You got the Jackson Dart. Someone said a farm boy. This is incredible, man. This nice croption over there. He picked croption number 1. Stand up, Badlands said. They're gonna give him the full.
All right, someone wants to stand up. Hoop said, once I go dust off my fan, we're gonna get a hole from last year to this year. I'll dust the fan. You get to see the back, and then Hoop gave me an out that I can then put on a different shirt. Yeah, so now's the time.
Yeah, it's fair. I honestly, I can't look at you wearing that all show. I mean, oh man, look at that. That is.
And oh yeah, a little dust up there. Don't check the camera when you come back too. Don't get to give it a little camera boost on the action there. Look at this.
There we go.
The man's ripped. I mean, I seriously think that he kind of wanted to do this to show off, his body and his physique. So I think he secretly enjoyed this.
Oh man, this is
amazing. I can't even get it off.
We appreciate that, and like someone
call Mama Title back in. She helped pre-show. Mama Title helped him put this on because he couldn't get it on.
You better call her back in. Yeah.
Oh man, that's amazing. So, buddy said, "Whoa, it's time to turn the stream on." What are we doing over here? But incredible stuff. You got to love that. That's what it's all about. And paid his bet. He's good to go. So what the hell, Big Driggs? You know what it is. You've been here supporting forever. We appreciate you guys. Make sure give Title that thumbs up today, because that's all for Title on this one. I won't even ask for more. That's too good. Title's the man of the people. He got the job done. He paid his bet, and we're all set.
Title's cash plays and content is going to be switching over to his OnlyFans page here real quick. I mean,
I got dusted in the cash streets too, so I need some OnlyFans money to help me out.
I got
we're gonna get that text from Title. Sorry, boys, I'm discontinuing my time here at SHIPIT. I'm going to OnlyFans / Title Town.
They
you can't lose him.
Locate something, not discontinue. They thought his shoulder was popping out on that little removal piece there.
I had to lift my hands up. My mom had to do it. But yeah, you can't lose money on OnlyFans, can you?
I don't think so. No,
It
it's all
sounds like a
profit.
win-win.
It's all profit.
Oh, God. All right. Well, that was amazing. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that. I know I certainly did. And congrats again to Hoopster. And by the way, congrats again to Hoopster on the 6-0 run in SHIPIT games. So the head-to-head battle continues. Philly did battle with him and did not come through. So Hoopster is now 6-0 in SHIPIT games. And we are, the other sad part is, though, it's 0-6 on Shareship so far. We haven't been able to have a member come through and get a lineup over the cash line. And the 555 milli maker is back this week. So maybe we will get a bigger one, but we have not seen yet Hoop get a cash in the SHIPIT game streets.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes one though. I mean, that's the nice one. We just need something big. And man, I've heard this every week, like every single week. You go, hey, it's ending this week. It's ending this week. I mean, 6-0 at some point. I mean, we're on pace for an undefeated season. I mean, you might see it here. It might go 17-0, 16. Actually, it ends before that. So how many weeks is it? 15 that we'll end up doing this? 14?
16.
16, yeah. So 16 weeks. 16-0 is on the table. I mean, there's been a couple close ones, but I mean, when you start out, you guys send big nades to the table and he gets dusted. Like it's not things started on the wrong foot.
Call him buddy. Call him buddy.
Nade's always taking strays. You're the man, Nades.
Got to, man. That's
Big
the only
strays. Big strays.
Big strays
Right.
and big nades.
We got a 2-gamer to get to. Let's do this. I'm sure we'll have a ton of fun throughout, but just to break it all down, it's not your standard showdown slate. It is the staggered games. Again, by the way, next week's staggered too, and it's like a super late game for the secondary one. It's Houston at Seattle. I think it's like 10 o'clock Eastern is when it starts next week. But anyway, it's just a little bit later than this week. So by the way, happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends as well. I should say that. It's Thanksgiving here. You guys know I like selling American Thanksgiving more than that, but I still want to say it to everybody out there. I had some people wish it to me this morning, and I certainly appreciate that. So a lot to be thankful for, and very thankful we got to start the show that way, have a few laughs to kick off this show. But we got Bills at the Falcons. Then we got the Bears at the Commanders. Probably the most quarterback-friendly 2-gamer we've seen in a long time, because it's usually just like Josh Allen and scrubs. Say what you want about these guys, but I don't think they're all complete scrubs. And I also think it matters the entire lineup and how you're playing. So, Hoop, I'll go to you first here. You're the all-victorious leader. What do we got for your grand scheme overview on this 2-game slate?
Well, it is a good one. Out of curiosity, though, what's on the schedule for the Canadian Thanksgiving? It's the same setup as like American, where family, food, all that stuff.
It is like that. We always do it on Sunday, so it was yesterday, and there was football day. Someone's like, "Oh, the American one's good. They always have football day." I mean, we got football day. I'm just having to get this stupid family dinner right now instead of at home in front of my TVs. But being nice about it. I went to my sister's wedding in week 2, so I actually canceled the family plans to go away this weekend, and everyone that was doing the rest of my family went and did stuff, and we stayed back. So it's all good.
Gotcha. Good game. I mean, the nice thing about, or good games, I should say, the nice thing about these 2 games is a lot of fantasy relevance on every team. It's not like some of these slates where we just had some, dusty teams on these 2-game slates where like the Tennessee Titans are involved, which, by the way, they finally fired their head coach, which, I mean, why the hell did it take him so long to do so? Some of these coaches in the NFL, man, it's just still shocking to me. And like the tweet or the video that just emerged of the Panthers guy saying he doesn't know if Rico, I'm calling him Dodo, I'm sticking with it because it worked out well yesterday.
You got the dough, all right.
Yeah, he got us. Well, I mean, it depends how much you played him, if you had the right combination. But if you went all in, he got you the dough yesterday. Like, just how dumb can you be? Like, the dude is beating every NFL team in rushing in the last 2 weeks. And to not say, like, he's our guy, like, I hope Chuba Hubbard comes back and they use him over Rico. That would just show, like, the level of, how dumb some of these coaches are. That's a side note, though. How did I get distracted off the top? Okay, so anyway, yeah, 2 really good games in terms of we have 4 teams that have relevant fantasy pieces and 4 teams that can score points, score fantasy points. So it makes it good for the slate. We have some very good quarterbacks. I mean, there's good plays basically at every position. I will say, running back, maybe a little weak. Tight end, probably a little weak, but you look at quarterback, you look at wide receiver, we have a lot of options on the slate. So I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, you can play the showdown as well. We'll kind of talk through it. And a lot of the stuff we talk about is applicable for the showdown slate. So we'll have the content for that for the featured one. But I don't know. It's 4 playable teams for fantasy. So I think it should be a good slate tonight.
Yeah. Title, what are you thinking here? What's sort of cropping up in your mind as you're thinking about this slate?
It couldn't be any more different than the 2-game slate we had 2 weeks ago. You couldn't even almost spend all the money if you wanted to. What the highest quarterback was like 5.7K, like Achan, Chase. Like people didn't even like Chase, but you had the money to spend there. Completely different slate. You have a lot of the best football players like Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Bijan, James Cook. Receiver is kind of lower price, but you have enough people to spend on where leaving salary is one way to get different, where you could have built a 47-8 lineup 2 weeks ago and still played really good plays. What I like, though, is like the Daniels, Josh Allen, Caleb Williams. These guys can run a lot. They also have so many different guys they spread it out to. So you're going to be able to play Josh Allen, who of course will be owned, Jaden Daniels, who will be owned. But they have so many pass catchers they rotate that their pass catchers, a lot of them will be pretty low owned. So it's a slate where you can still play a lot of the best plays. And naturally, you can get correlation with guys that are pretty low owned just because they're going to be rotating receivers and these guys spread it out a good bit. So I think it's a really good 2-game slate.
It's definitely a really good 2-game slate for the opportunity to ship, get it all outright. Like what we talk about on Showdown, I'm talking about the 2-gamer. Like for the chance at a unique tonight, I haven't seen a 2-gamer more likely to have it because it's going to be, is it Casey Washington, Ray McLeod, Keon Coleman, Joshua Palmer, Burden III, Lane, McCaffrey, you name it. Like there's literally everyone, and it's going to be something like that. And then the same at tight end roulette. I think the running backs are kind of a tighter group, and it's more sound of what you're going to end up on there. The quarterback's just a product of what the rest of your lineup looks like. But to your point, you could even build it with Josh Allen and just leave a bunch of money because it's any of those backups to him, or the wide receiver 2s and 3s. I mean, with these other spots. So it's good from that perspective. I know some dislike that, but it's definitely a slate that seems a lot more sound at running back. And then everything else is kind of a free for all because even those quarterbacks, like I said, yes, Josh Allen first. And then you see people say, okay, like we'll go to Daniels. And that's pretty close. I think even Williams, Penix Jr. will be the lowest owned for sure because people are on Bijan, but it probably works out that way. Like you don't really necessarily need that. You've got other ways you can get there. Bijan might be 85 to 88% owned by the time we get the final numbers in. To end the day, he fits. It's easy. It's always going to be there. I think that's fine. He's very likely to be optimal on this slate. So I don't know, Hoop. I'll kick it over to you to start, but we usually go game by game for these 2-gamers. Do you want to do that, or you want to go position by position?
Mute.
Oh, he was really letting this one fly.
He still is.
Well, I told you I got to stay. I told Tambo I didn't tell title. I got to go a lot of mute today. I had got some. My basement is getting refinished due to a water leak. So they're of course rolled in here like an hour ago and started going to town. So I get the free pass today on the mute a little bit. But I think what title you like going by positions. I think it's easier to.
I think it's easier on these 2-gamers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And you can hit the ownership stuff. So yeah, let's go positions, and then we can obviously can be applicable for the showdown slates as well.
Yeah, we can apply all that for sure, and we'll have all the content up over at SHIPIT Nation anyway for that. And if you want more, it's easy to get in. It's less than $20. It's basically the same price as Title's OnlyFans, $19, but you get 5 days here for SHIPIT Nation. So I mean, that's you already got a little freebie up front. You should feel like that. What's that law of reciprocation? Like we gave you shit. Title just gave you a free show. $19 and you're going to get a bunch more for that, but I'll kick it to you first, Hoop. It immediately gets the simulator.
I wish that was the case. Unfortunately, it's not so far from that. It's not even fun. Like a water leak from the fridge and destroyed my hardwood floor and my finished basement that I just did 4 years ago. So it's and now dealing with insurance, on a home issue is the worst experience of my life. Like these guys, I don't know how it works, but these people must get commission by trying to fuck you out of money. That's the only thing I can come up with on this whole situation. Like these insurance agents have to get commission off of it.
It's like reverse commission. The less the amount they give you is what they paid on. You're like, okay, you have a budget of $80,000 for this guy's basement. They're like, all right, we'll give you 20. And you're like, what? And then they get paid on the 60.
Has to. It's the only thing that makes sense. This guy is fighting me tooth and nail about like a $2,000 thing. I'm like, dude, like what in the world is your benefit here? Just give me the damn money and let's get the hell on with this thing. It's
you think
crazy.
you could get him some title videos and seduce him? Get him.
Might have to. More? Yeah. You like, men in their, how old are you? 30? Upper 20? Yeah.
27.
27, so close to 30 in spaghetti strap.
Close to 30. No, don't be saying that. That's a long way away. Don't be saying close to 30.
Hey, you're right there, buddy. You're right there. But,
1,000 days almost.
Okay, 1,000 days. All right. If you look at it that way, yeah, you got a lot more sleeps before then. But it'll be here before you know it. But yeah, I'll see if I could, maybe sweeten up the pot for the insurance guy a little bit with a couple screen grabs of title.
Yeah. All right, take us into quarterback, Hoopus. You're up first.
Yes. I mean, we have good ones, really good ones on the slate. I mean, Josh Allen, 7,700, Jaden Daniels, 69, Caleb Williams, 56, then Penix Jr., 5K. For me personally, this could be one of those slates where I just kind of take one out and just roll with the three, and it would definitely be Penix. I mean, the problem is on these two, not the problem, but the thing is on these 2-game slates, you just most likely need the highest score at each spot. And salary really doesn't matter a ton. I mean, it matters a little bit, but on this slate, it really doesn't matter a ton. So in my eyes, like for Penix to be the guy, he has to beat either Caleb Williams, Josh Allen, or Jaden Daniels. Now, he is quite a bit cheaper than Josh Allen, so maybe it could work where Josh Allen gets 25 and Penix gets 20, and it just works out with some of the other positional stuff. But I'm just going to bank on one of those other three beating Penix, and I'll probably be Xing him out. And, a lot of people say, oh, that's not really doing anything. He's only 10% owned or whatever he is, 7, 8, 9, 10% owned. Well, yeah, it does. That's, when you make these little fades on these 2-game slates, it can be substantial. You're eliminating 10% of the pool potentially if it's not Penix that you need. So kind of leaning that route. It looks like Jaden Daniels is going to be higher owned than like Josh Allen. I'd be fine like totally flipping that and getting more Josh Allen than Jaden Daniels. And then Caleb Williams, I like quite a bit too, 56. Like he could easily be the highest scoring guy on the slate if they're playing from behind. I mean, there's 5.5, 6 point underdogs. Their offense is capable of moving the football, and you get a little bit of the rushing upside as well. So I'm good with those three, probably out on Penix. And then like for me personally, if it's looking like Jaden Daniels, which it is looking like that's going to be the case, it's going to be higher owned than Josh Allen. I'll probably just try to find a way to flip that in my builds where I have more Allen than Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, there's so many reasons. And you said a couple of things there that I want to hit on too. The Penix thing is like, what it usually is if like you see it yesterday, like with Jacoby Brissett, like if you can just play him at 42, but that's a main slate with 10 games and there's going to be a bunch of different ceiling scores. We don't even know how many guys you're going to have on this slate that have these big scores. So when you go to him, you're like, okay, that would be the only way you can get 5 of these guys, let's say. But then for $600 more, you could just play Caleb Williams, and that's part of the control as well. And if you have the stone, you're able to see the optimal rates, you're able to see everything. And that's clearly why Caleb Williams is owned more than Penix, but also why it kind of makes more sense. Like it's definitely more likely that happens. There's also nothing saying that you need to even spend the full 50K because we don't know if you can't just say, oh, I have all the best guys, they're all going to max out. How many times on these slates have we seen where that's not the case at all? And it comes down to like a 45, 600 lineup that has whatever, just has the nuts. It has the best spots. So Title, I'll kick it over to you. I think everything Hoop said was pretty solid, and the same way I'm kind of thinking about it. I actually like Caleb Williams quite a bit, but I like Allen over Daniels as well. So that's kind of how I'm seeing it. And then I'll kick it to you for your thoughts.
Yeah, not too like I probably will X Penix too. The rushing prop on the other 3 guys, 26.5 for Caleb, 34.5 Josh, 46.5 Jaden. Their passing yards prop is all pretty similar. And yeah, like what does Penix need to do to be optimal today? 3 touchdowns, probably minimum. And even then it's not guaranteed because all those other guys can put up 30 plus if they rush one in or something. And then just say you do get Penix right. And obviously this is common sense, but you need to get the pass catchers right, which is pretty difficult. There is no Darnell Mooney. They're going to be rotating a lot more guys. I think I'm just going to hope, and you're looking at the stone, 9.5%. We still do have him at negative optimal or negative optimal that we're talking. So I think, I just hope they pay the rake. I probably won't play Penix. I'll play those three. I like Caleb a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if he outscored these guys in a vacuum. He can do it with his legs. If they get behind, garbage time counts the same. I don't really have a strong lean between Jade and Josh. I think it just really depends on what you think the ownership will be. We have it right now 32-30 with Jaden slightly ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if the gap was a little wider. If you're telling me it's those, if that is the exact one, I don't know. I think I probably would then take the 800 savings for pretty much the same ownership, but I guess I got to give Hoop another victory lap. I was wrong on the Herbert stuff, the Keenan, the Ladd. It was like 8%, 16 Ladd, 13 Keenan. So Hoop, what do you think it'll be? You have a better read on this than me, I guess.
I think people will look for this. I mean, I don't think it's going to be massive where it's like 10% or anything. Like, I think it's probably like, if I had to guess right now, Josh Allen 33-ish, and then like Jaden Daniels maybe 37-ish. I bet it's within 4 or 5.
I'd make Caleb my favorite probably then, because that means he's got to get squeezed a bit.
Yeah, I think he does get squeezed, he's going to get a little bit less than I think those other ones in my eyes. I think he's probably low 20s is kind of what I'm thinking, because it is easy. It's still easy to play those guys. There's not many salary constraints. We don't have a ton of spends on the slate. Like, we have Bijan at 8,200, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, James Cook 71, Odunze 65. So I think you're going to be able to get one of Jaden or Josh Allen easily, and most teams will do it. If you're playing Caleb Williams, you're probably going to be leaving some money on the table. And the one thing we know about people when they build teams, they don't really like leaving money on the table. So I think it's just naturally going to push those more expensive quarterbacks up a little bit. But yeah, I think it's probably within 5, one way or the other. So it's probably not a huge decision maker. But for me, it just comes down to preference. Like, and you got to be thinking who has more fantasy points, because salary really doesn't matter that much. And you know, in my eyes, I think it's usually Josh Allen in the spot. So I want more of him, but I like Jaden and I really like Caleb as well. The main thing, you got to make some sort of play at this position. And like, to me, is not playing Penix, which I think we all kind of agree on. And it doesn't seem like a big move, but when you're talking a 2-game slate, it is a big move because it's 10%. And that's essentially the rake right there. If you're right and it's not Penix, you have an advantage, and it's a 10% advantage, and basically you're playing rake free, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably come down some, but I still think it's close enough to say that, and for sure agree. And I think the other thing too, like Title said, that's what I love land Caleb, that I hope Colston Loveland plays, because I think Caleb's already in a good spot anyway, and I think it allows you to fit a lot more. I already gave my $600 example. I care more about that. And I think the ownership's right, actually, in that, like, yeah, he should be 5 times Penix in this spot based on everything else that goes with it and what it allows you to do for the rest of the stuff. It's just, I think others will find that out as well, the more they build and get to it. And I've already done some of that stuff. So I think what ends up happening is Caleb gets a little bit more. Penix comes down to like 7. And then that's a small number to spread out. But then it's more interesting, like the Allen versus Daniels stuff. But you can kind of play whoever, because you'll see it's hard to spend the money on this slate. That's the biggest thing. It's really hard to do it. And so hand builders are just going to be able to go up to Josh Allen. That's where I actually think we could see it sort of be pretty close in the end with him and Jaden Daniels. And I think like the best lineups look like when you go Caleb Williams, because they stack nicely. You can get a run back in there if you want it, and then you could still fit like Bijan, Cook, or both. But I think it's more, playing those Josh Allen lineups just as a way to get different, because I think that game, people are going to want Bijan a lot more, which they are. We know he's going to be like almost 90%. I'm interested to see what happens with Cook, though, outside of the fact that he's easy to fit and afford. So we'll go to running back Title. I'll go with you there. But what do you think about Cook? Because we already know what Bijan is on this slate for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Cook, I like Cook a lot, especially, like, the thing is, you can play Cook with Josh Allen. You can play Croxy with, or I'm going to call him Bill, it's a lot easier, with Jaden. Now, that's my least favorite one to pair with their quarterback. I think it'll be a little different. The reason that's my least favorite is, like, James Cook can catch pass out of the backfield. It can be so condensed with just James Cook scoring. DeAndre Swift can catch passes, Bijan obviously as well, whereas Bill's just more the traditional, he's first, second down guy, and then they bring in McNichols for third down. Now, talking running back, though, C-Rod is going to be out, it looks like, for the Commanders, and he was getting some early down work. Bill took it over last week, but just another guy out of there. I'm interested to see who they call up, more so for showdown. But Bill, massive game, early down back. He's my least favorite to pair with the quarterback. I love James Cook, though. I'm only probably going to play 4 guys. If it was the 5th, it would be Tyler Algier. I'm not sure I can click that name today. I'm not sure there's a need to. With Swift only 800 more, Croxy Merritt only 900 more. But I'm going to play a bunch of these guys. Like, I think I can get overweight on almost every single one and just get overweight on 3 running back builds when a lot of people are going to play 2 tight ends because of what it saves and allows you to spend up. It also allows you to get Josh and Jaden. A lot more 2 tight end builds will have them at quarterback, when if you go Caleb Williams, you will see more of the 3 running back stuff there. I just want to play a bunch of these guys. Who's my favorite? Probably Bill, for the sense of I can leave money easier. Like, Bill can outscore Bijan, Bill can outscore James Cook, and you get a good amount of savings down there. So in really chalky lineups, doesn't have to be a 1v1 pivot, but at the end of the day, I would be fine with it, especially from James Cook. If you look at our projection, 16.71 Cook, 13.76 Bill, you can throw Swift in there too. You're giving up 3 or 2 projection points, and you can save a lot of money from Cook down to those 2 guys. So I have no hot take at the running back room besides I hope McNichols gets played a bit, Algier gets played a bit, and I hope that's what pays the rake, and I just want the 4 main guys.
Yeah, I got a few thoughts, and I'll kick it to you, Hoop. But one is, like, I don't fully get the 4.5 point spread. I know Bills are on the road, but man, it feels like, I don't know, like Atlanta, are they that good? Or like, I have no idea, but it just seems odd. I thought it would have been more. Anyway, either or, I would still say, like, I think that James Cook, people forgot about this. They've been talking about saving him and all this shit. The Georgia Bulldog going back to Atlanta, going into his spot. I think this is going to be a good James Cook spot. I like him quite a bit. You can play him without Bijan to get different in some ways. You can play him with Bijan in that same game, get him in those other lineups with these other quarterbacks. So I actually like James Cook quite a bit on this slate. I like Bill, who you talked about. I like everyone likes Bijan. I think the most interesting, though, are first up Swift. I don't know if that ownership will be right, but it's probably close, and that's fine either way. But not many people will want to. I don't think a lot of people like playing him with his quarterback, so that's where I think it could come down a little bit even. But either or, I'll still take it. He's close right now to the optimal, just slight negative leverage on the stone. But again, if I think it comes down a little bit, I'm fine because then he's going to be positive leverage too. But I also like using him with Caleb. If I'm going backups, I think it's Algier first. The spread, everything that goes with it, and just thinking about how that could go. And somebody said it, this on a 2-game slate, I think you can play, especially when it's, who knows if it's Bill or Nick McNichols, who I was going to mention in a second, might not need Swift. Maybe it is James Cook getting stuffed and saved and whatever people are saying about him. Again, he just doesn't have a good game. It could be where they just try and keep that off and the Bills just get ran all over. So if you have that feeling or your lineup tells that story, I would actually be okay with that. But James Cook is up there for me. The backups would be Algier and McNichols because the Commanders switch their mind all the time on this shit. I don't care what the numbers fully say. You would just have to adjust that in your stuff and do it that way. And then Swift, especially with Williams, as a way to build out differently. But I really think it's all going to come down to wide receiver anyway. But Hoop, I'll let you talk about running back first.
Yeah, I thought some really good points there talking about running backs. But I did want to ask, was that an official Tambo bet or just like the line looks a little off?
Is it real? Like, I actually thought our stuff
was I was thinking the same though. I mean, it's down to like 3.5 in some spots, which I thought was crazy.
Wow.
It seems like just
that's an official bet. Yeah, we're
it is?
on the record.
Okay.
I lost my last one, but I'm saying like that's going to be for sure. I don't understand why.
They get Ed Oliver back too, and that's huge for that Bills defense.
Seemed very strange to me as well. It almost seems like trappy. It almost seems like it's like too good to be true because how are they not favored by 7? Like was my initial thought when I looked at this game.
I would have thought 6.5 to try and get some love that way, but it doesn't.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking as well, and it just seems weird to me. And it seems like it's like 3.5 in some spots, which is crazy to me because like I don't think the Falcons are great, and the Bills could be the best team in the NFL. And I get it's like a primetime game and on the road, and they're coming off a loss, but like the fact that they're coming off a loss just leads me to believe they're going to be more focused in winning this game. So. I might join you and bet on some Bills tonight. It just doesn't seem right But in regards to the running back stuff, yeah, it's like nothing crazy. I mean, it's not like there's anything out there to come up with some crazy hot take when looking at this. But the one thing I do agree with you on, and you kind of touched on, and I think it's the main point probably at this position, is DeAndre Swift. Because there's just no way he's going to be the third in everyone's eyes. People are going to want Bijan. People are going to want James Cook. And then people are going to want to play Bill. I think he could get squeezed a little bit. It's a 2-game slate, so he's still going to have substantial ownership. There's no doubt about it. But I think he definitely is fourth in line in terms of ownership. And he has a very good role. He has a pass catching role. If this position ends up busting, or if Bijan doesn't have a massive game, and Josh Allen does it all on the ground instead of James Cook, like DeAndre Swift going out there and getting 15 could be enough. And I think he can do that like kind of in his sleep. I mean, he can rack up a lot of receptions. So I think he's a very interesting piece tonight. But the other ones I'm good with. If I was playing one of the backups, it would probably just be Algier, 4,700. But I just don't love the pricing where he's just like right there, like not much cheaper. It's not like he's 3,000 or something. He's 47. He's right there with DeAndre Swift and Bill. But yeah, he would probably be the one I would go to next after those four. But nothing crazy for me. I mean, Bijan's going to be like 80%.
Yeah, no one's fading Bijan. Like I mean, it's like someone said earlier, like the Chubb slate that year, where it's like, yeah, like there's people fading him somewhere, but for the most part, we're talking about playing Bijan and Algier together and hoping this thing is right. Like our man Sean, he's the man, but like, how are the Falcons good? They lost to the Cowboys. They got shut out by Carolina. They lost to Tampa Bay, who beat Carolina the week before. Like I don't see anything good here about them at all. What did they do? They beat a JJ McCarthy Washington. Minnesota team once. Like, how is Buffalo not a big favorite here? Maybe I'm just
they beat Washington, and that was without Jaden, right? That was the week that Mariota started, right? I don't think. Yes, I mean they did beat at home, but yeah, Mariota started that game
34-27, barely.
They got their asses beat by the Panthers. It was smoked by the Panthers. They lost to the Vikings and they lost to the Bucks. So what are they?
I thought they beat the Vikings.
Oh, they beat the Vikings.
It's like it was JJ McCarthy led Viking. Like it's like this is not like they're crazy. I don't know. I don't know who's telling me about the Falcons being good, but they ain't good. So maybe tonight they're good and we find out. But there's arguments to be made. Like the Bills beat a shitty Ravens team, which 41-40, and they both gave up 1 million points. And technically the Ravens are beat up. But either way, don't really care who's good or bad. I just thought that was the most interesting thing to me. But from a DFS perspective, if you're going to do that, imagine if it was a showdown slate and that was the featured slate, I would definitely be considering some stuff with that. So you can apply that to this main slate just as much. That was my takeaway from it all. So teach your own if that's the route you want to go. I just think there's so many other ways you can go on this slate. But that's
guess what Algier's touchdown prop is.
What is it? Something bad.
Any guesses?
Oh, it should be like plus 250 to 3. It's probably like plus 180 or something.
It's plus 200. It's plus 200.
Yeah.
But when you hear that at 4,700, I don't know. I'm starting to guess. The problem is receivers. You need to get the receivers right today. Like you keep saying it. There's just a million different guys. Like that's the position. So I don't know if I'm going to get cute at running back with Algier because even if Algier scores 1 and gets 11 points, like what percent? Let's say that we know Algier scores 11 today. What percent would you give them to be optimal?
Getting 11. I mean, these are strong. I don't know. It would probably be like 20% or something, maybe.
Yeah, that makes me
know. Like, man, you got Bill, Swift, Cook, Bijan. There's going to be wide. This is also like a wide receiver, tight end in the flex type spot, even with money on the table. Like, I don't think 11's doing much.
Yeah, that I'm probably going to X. I mean,
you need to hope that they do like everything. I'm thinking like more, you need like 3 TDs from the Falcons and they're all from those 2 guys to pull that off or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Fanatics has it down to 3.5. Bills minus 3.5. That just seems, I don't know. It seems crazy.
I will say anytime it seems that, like I always go the other way. Like,
I know. It's probably
especially seeing this. I mean,
it's got bet in favor of the Falcons. Like, yeah, it definitely seems fishy. And a lot of times when it seems too good to be true, it is too good to be true. But I'm not a professional sports bettor. I don't claim to be one. And I'm a donkey, and I will be firing on the Bills tonight, and I'm sure the Falcons will win this game.
Yeah. Either way, we'll see. We're going to find out tonight. But I mean, again, play accordingly. I think the biggest thing that matters most is moving to wide receiver now is that you can easily build a lineup. And I know like the Debo, questionable stuff, but it's like deep, like you can play Drake London, Rome, and whoever your favorite third is. And I don't remember a 2-game slate in my career playing DFS where that ever worked. Where it's like, I got the nut 3 wide receivers in here, I'm going to win all the money. It's like, if it did, it was a billion-way chop. And if it didn't hit, which it never does, there was a ton of reasons why and other stuff hit instead. So just because you can fit those guys doesn't mean it's the nuts. It's like a cash game thing. Of course you do that. You play the best projection, the best EV, like everything's going to be in your favor. But when you're playing a tournament with 500K up top and trying to win all the money, you don't have to be stupid. There's going to be lineups that win that are like, why didn't I just think of that? Well, it's like you don't notice, but they left 1,800 on the table and played a wide receiver in the flex. It's like, kind of got really good receivers, good correlation, left money, boom, they win. And maybe even it's duped. Like it might not be, but I'm just saying that's kind of how I think about it. Title, what do you got at wide receiver? And then go into some of your options.
Oh man, yeah, the receiver is where like this is what makes or break the slate. So I just like going team by team. So for the Bills, like when I'm playing Josh Allen, yes, he can get it done with his legs, but I'm definitely more likely to pair him with pass catchers and a lot of them when I'm playing the quarterback. So Shakir, Coleman, Joshua Palmer, Curtis Samuel. Now we have to monitor like the Curtis Samuel. Is he going to play? When Elijah Moore, because it was the showdown slate with New England and Elijah Moore was inactive, Curtis Samuel got a big bump. He had a good game too. So I'm hoping we get Samuel active again, no Elijah Moore. All 4 of them are very much in play. And like what I like about it, Curtis Samuel, 2% owned. Joshua Palmer, 4%, 3,600, 3,200. These are the guys you can leave $0. You can play a lot of chalk. When I'm playing Josh Allen, I'm a lot more likely to play Palmer and Samuel. My favorite of the bunch, I think, is Keon, because I think he's just most likely to get a touchdown and have a 100-plus yard big game. So Shakir, Coleman, I'm good more as one-offs. Palmer, Samuel, when I'm playing Josh, that's a way to get different in those teams. For the Falcons, no Darnell Mooney. I mean, very difficult season for him so far. Drake London, clearly the best receiver on the slate, will be chalky. Can use him one-offs. Casey Washington's the name that people are probably like, who the heck's that guy? He's min-price 3K. He's the one that fills in for Mooney directly. Ray McLeod's a slot guy. Washington plays on the outside. We can see in week 1 when Darnell Mooney missed, he played 95% of snaps. Ray played 75 in the slot. It's clearly those 3. They run a lot of 11 personnel. I'm good playing all 3 of them. Washington will be low owned. Ray will be low owned. Guys that can get in the box, get 5-6 catches, and be a difference maker on your team. Bears stuff, it's Odunze, it's Zaccheaus, it's DJ Moore. I'd say DJ Moore is probably my least favorite because he has a real price tag. And it's clearly Odunze's team, it feels like. I also think, I don't know if I'm going to get to Luther Burden. We showed he has the upside, but off of the bye week, like Burden, Loveland, I do expect Loveland to play. Ben Johnson's been talking about getting these guys more involved. Burden, a home run hitter, probably would only play him with Caleb, but another guy that a completely difference maker. And I think Zaccheaus is fine too. 3,500. He can get you a 5 for 50, something like that. 10 could be enough. Washington, this is why even if Jaden Daniels is the chalkiest option, we're showing all, of course, Debo is going to get some ownership. We expect him to play. He's fine at 64. I definitely prefer London if choosing, but Jalen Lane, Chris Moore, Luke McCaffrey, all these guys will be very low owned. When I'm playing Jaden, I want to probably play one of these guys in a lot of teams because you can play chalk. One of those guys get in the box. That helps you separate. So I don't know if I really have too many strong takes. It's just I'm going to be probably fading Penix. So maybe I will be the lowest owned on like a Ray. But when I'm playing Daniels, I want a Lane, a Moore, McCaffrey. When I'm playing Josh, I'm more likely to play Curtis Samuel, Palmer. And I'm fine playing 4 receivers on this slate too. But this is the position that's by far the hardest. But I think I want to lean into this low ownership because they're going to be on the field.
Yeah, you got to really take this with a grain of salt, but I would say for sure with wide receiver, it's like on a slate like this, it's the whole slate. Remember, it all adds up. But I'm saying like I'm thinking about everything under one roof. We just talked to the quarterbacks. We read running backs like clear, like we've seen stuff there that we're saying like that's just the setup. You are going to have to put yourself in the position to get lucky with wide receiver. And like, I mean, like your builds and stuff, your optimizer, how you're using it and see it. Like you can see it on the stone, what's good and what's bad. But it's like if I land on a lineup that doesn't have Odunze and has Burden the third, and that just leaves the money. Like I might just leave that in some spaces because it's like everyone will have Odunze in that lineup. That's why it looks so good. It's because it also has Rome. And for me, I just know that'll be chopped up a million times more. And for me, I want it without that. So it's all to each their own, but I definitely leave more room, more subjectiveness on that stuff where I'm like, maybe I'm wrong and it only chops 15 times, but I would still want like the 1 or 2 way chops. So I'll just do it this way instead. That's how I do it. Everyone does it their own, but I just will note that. I think Nade's made a good point. It's like all these olds. By the way, back to my thing too. If you're Title, you got one in the oven over there. So I mean, when you're raising your kid, teach them. They got to play sports, but then teach them how to coach sports. This man yesterday is getting $49 million from a college football firing that he's getting. Gruden is on freaking Barstool Sports collecting millions of dollars. Yeah. That money. It's like we talked about Kingsbury. Speaking of Washington, you got all these guys now that people are putting on the hot seat. More coaches today for Tennessee getting fired. They just get paid.
And then they get paid, and then they'll get another job somewhere else. It's honestly insane. That's why.
And all these old heads do is they go on the bye week and they sit around, have a few cookies and milk like Santa Claus, and sit back on their fat ass and like, you know what? We got to get that rookie involved this week coming up. Yep. All right, let's do it. Let's work out a few plays for him. Boom. It's like rookies off a bye is kind of a thing. So maybe,
I get that point. But Nate's trying to victory lap the golden dude. Like he had 3 catches yesterday. Like, dude. What was it?
I think he really hurt like a Kraft and a Dobbs, and I don't know. I'm like, I got to stick up for my guy Nades one time.
No, you can't victory lap. You can't victory lap. Well, he said 3 for 86.
Nades, you missed the buddy on this one. You should have said not victory lapping shit, buddy. Come on.
Nades knows I love him, man. It's just you gotta take your shots at him as often as possible, or at least I do. And my guy Danny. I look mad at your comment, Danny, but man, like you're my boy. I'm never going to be mad at you, but like it ain't this year, big dog. It is not this year. Last year, I took the L all season long for you and your Vikings. This year, no, it's not the Vikings. JJ McCarthy is not very good. They're in big trouble. So not taking the L, but also not mad at you. Could never be mad at you. In regards to wide receiver, I think you guys covered it well. Like this is where the slate's going to be, I guess, won or lost. I mean, the clear plays at quarterback, clear plays at running back. Wide receiver is wide open, and it could just be random dudes that get the job done. I mean, every team, for the most part, has 2 of the 4 have a pretty significant injury situation. Starting with the Falcons without Mooney, and a great breakdown by title talking about this Casey Washington. He was out there the entire time, and he is
min price 3K.
Yeah, min price 3K. Ray McLeod's going to be out there a ton, 3,500. And then obviously Drake London should get a lot of targets. That's one team right there. You go to the Bills. No one wants to play the Bills wide receivers, but let's say Josh Allen's passing the ball today. He can't run it. Then you got a lot of guys: Keon Coleman, Shakir, Palmer, Curtis Samuel, all pretty darn cheap. The Bears situation, you know who it is. It's the 3 main ones: Odunze, DJ Moore, which, it's definitely Odunze's wide receiver room at this point. He's the main guy. Then it's DJ Moore, Zacchaeus, and then Burden for the deep stuff. I do want some Burden, specifically on the Caleb Williams teams. Like if you're playing a lot of Caleb Williams, I'd mix in this Burden guy. I mean, he has big play upside. He can get you a 50-yard touchdown pass, and then he's probably on optimal. And then the Commanders are without McLaurin and Noah Brown. So obviously Debo's fine. I think Debo's officially listed as questionable. I assume he's going to play. I think there was someone that asked in the chat. I mean,
Loveland, all these guys we expected. Kincaid, like I'd be surprised if any of those guys sat today.
Yeah, they're going to play. And then, Debo, Chris Moore, Luke McCaffrey has done some stuff. I mean, these aren't sexy plays, but we're talking a 2-game slate, so you at least need to consider it. I mean, McCaffrey's had targets. I mean, he's had a 14 fantasy point game, a 10 fantasy point game. So, he's done something. Jalen Lane, if you want another cheap guy like this, I think when we look back at this slate and look at wide receiver, it's going to be not something random, but there's going to be at least one name here. It's like, oh wow, this guy's on the optimal. Something wild could happen at this position for sure. We have so many cheap guys that have legitimate projections. Looking at Zacchaeus, we have him at 8.5. That's probably a little bit aggressive. We're a little lower on Chris Moore, but he has a real projection. Casey Washington, real projection. Luke McCaffrey has a real number next to his name. Lane, McLeod, Josh Palmer, all these guys have like 5, 6, at least 5 or 6 fantasy point projections, and they're all super cheap. And we're at a position where one play can make the difference. So probably going to be mixing in a lot of these guys just because there's so many of them. If I told you I had the answer, I'd be lying to you at this point. So I'm just going to mix and match as many as possible.
I got a mid-show mega mind. It's just coming to me now. I think it's all coming together clear. So I think I'm actually going to be underweight Josh Allen, overweight Penix Jr., and then more Jaden Daniels. Penix Jr., by the way, will still be my least owned quarterback. I'm just getting this all out so the thoughts are there. I think there's an interesting spot here where if it is that fishy line or somehow they do come through, I like James Cook so much, and I know not everybody will be for that either, so teach their own. I'm playing in my own lane, but I'm saying, like, if I'm doing that, when we did the Leverage Lane show a couple weeks ago, Alex brought up about the James Cook chalk slate. He was like, he really needs something to push him to make him stay involved. They have a 27-point team total on the road in Atlanta. So maybe it is like the Casey Washington, Ray McLeod. They just do this stuff, and if he gets enough time out there to get it done. So in those builds, I think that's the case. The other thing is about Josh Allen is we got Jaden Daniels there for a little bit cheaper. Jaden Daniels' squad has like injuries and guys that are banged up. It's like to me, it's like a much tighter tree. It's not super tight, but it just feels better with no McLaurin already, and that's already set up. Versus on the Bills side, it's always a million things, man. It could be anything for them. It's like the Mahomes stuff, and usually Mahomes on short slates. By the way, cannot wait for this upcoming week when everyone just jams Mahomes against the Raiders on the main slate with all those games. That's going to be phenomenal for me. So I'm excited for that when he's not on the winning Millie Maker again. I'll say that right now.
You don't think it's a different year, a different offense?
I think your points in the Discord last night were good. I read them all. I think they were solid. Like, he is running more. It has been different. And yes, he's getting Rice back. And that's kind of the key ingredient. You added that. Those are super valid points. I still won't believe that it's more options. It's more thing. I think he's an amazing quarterback. People always take it the wrong way.
You never have said that. You've never said that.
Like, I don't see how it's like, even tonight, why I'm having this mega mind mid show. It's like, if Josh Allen, okay, there's Cook, Johnson, Shakir, Coleman, Palmer. If Samuel's healthy, we expect Kincaid, Dawson Knox. What's that other guy's name? They got a third tight end.
Jackson Hawes.
Or whatever this guy is. Like, man, it's hard to get that right. And if James Cook, who I like, has a good game, I think it's because the other side pushed it. You can just put Bijan in there, but you can play Penix, Bijan, London, and pick one, or whatever you want to do. Or you can just be on the secondary game with James Cook and some other stuff there. So I just wanted to bring that up mid-show, but I think the other interesting thing to Penix is if you do have the right Penix stuff, you took the 100 people in the room, or the 100,000 in this case, and told 90,000 of them to take a hike. And we're down to this many lineups that are now fighting for the top prize just in one Swift move. We'll see if Swift is involved now. Maybe you want to put Swift into those lineups because you're not playing Caleb Williams, who makes the most sense. And I'm starting to feel like the more I talk through the show, Williams is going to get boosted up here. Like, it's Rome. People are talking about more. You talked about Loveland and Burden coming off the bye and things like that. I think that's going to be the case here. So
the only reason I don't think that's the case is because of the salary and how easy it is just to spend up, and people don't feel comfortable leaving chunks on the table. And the only way that he gets up there in talking about Caleb Williams is if people are willing to leave big chunks on the table. I just don't think people will do it. It's just easy to get to Allen and Jaden Daniels.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree. I guess it's kind of like the Puka comment yesterday. I shouldn't say like gets up there. I think it is at the more accurate number, whereas like Penix could end up being like 6 or 7, and it's not a big difference in that gap. I'm saying I think because the Cook, Bijan, Bill stuff is so common, you're already naturally forced into, and then you like Rome, who's going to fit. You like London with injuries and who's going to fit. Like, you're already at your salary spent. So, there will be love for Allen and Daniels could still be 65% of the lineups out there starting with them. And that's still a bunch. I'm just saying the pie side after those two, the 35 remaining, starts to feel like it could be like a lot of that belongs to Caleb Williams as opposed to Penix. But if these Atlanta Falcons do, like if for Allen to go off, kind of you think anything can happen in a blowout, but I feel like if they're going to actually be involved in this game and we are going to get this interesting, weird, close spread thing, and it's in Atlanta, it's in a dome, and all these other factors, could we see where it's like Bijan, London, Casey Washington, Penix, and Cook, and then fill in the stuff? I could actually start to see that a little bit more. So mid-show Megamind, probably wrong, but still interested in testing it out, and a good slate to test it out on because you will be in a unique spot if you're going that route. Again, he'll still be my lowest owned quarterback, but just talking it through for people, I think that's kind of a different way of looking at it. Anything else, Hoop, at the wide receiver? If not, you can go to the tight ends.
Nothing really to add. I mean, we do have a lot of plays at that wide receiver position and a lot of different ways to play them, a lot of cheap options as well. So it's going to be interesting, definitely, at wide receiver. Tight end, Kyle Pitts should benefit as well with Mooney out. I think he's a fine option. Zach Ertz, another guy that should benefit from the injuries in the passing attack, and he's been pretty stable. And then Kincaid has actually had a pretty solid start to the season. If they are passing, he's right there in the conversation, and they're all cheap. So, I mean, they're not spending at the tight end position. After that, gets a little dicey. A majority of the ownership's going to those guys. There's been some Loveland talk. I think he's a fine option. Should be very, very low owned. Just need to make sure he's playing. I'm assuming he's in. I think we're all kind of assuming he's in. So I don't hate getting some of him. Kmet, Knox, I just don't know if you really need it on the slate. So I don't love double tight end builds. I don't think they're going to be very popular. I would definitely, if looking to play a cheap flex option, it would be the wide receivers over these cheap tight ends for sure. But you're going to see a large majority of the ownership going to Pitts, Ertz, and Kincaid. I do like the Loveland call. I know a lot of people have been talking about it in the chat, and our guy Kenny is on the Loveland stuff too. I think it's fine, assuming he's in. He's got the Q tag. It's going to keep the ownership in check. I think he plays. I think he's fine. He's the lowest owned real tight end on the slate. So, good with that one too.
Title?
Yeah. I guess I'm more fine with double tight end. I don't know exactly how much I'll have, but Ertz is one of Jaden Daniels. He's probably his second favorite target right now with all the injuries. Kyle Pitts, probably second favorite target with how beat up they are. We know Kincaid's upside. And yeah, I'm just buying on the Loveland. I mean, 5% ownership for what we're showing. People the Bears took Loveland over Tyler Warren. They invested a lot of draft capital into this guy coming off the bye week. And he was starting to get going, it felt like, in week 5 before he got hurt. Or week 3, excuse me. What am I talking about? Week 5 was the bye, didn't play week 4, but he had a catch. I mean, I'm not going to call the guy soft. He's definitely not Tyler Warren hard, but if he stays on the field all game and doesn't get hurt, like in Caleb Williams stuff, 5% owned starting tight end that I think we'll see his role expanded. That's something I want to be early on, and we're talking a 2-game slate.
Tyler Warren hard. Yeah, this guy's fired up today. I like that. Yeah, the best was Tyler Warren was like half his ownership yesterday. After the week before, everyone loved him. Nothing changed really at all. It was like, this guy sucks now. Let's move away from him. And he just crushes again. So, yeah, it wasn't like he was the best of all of them, I don't think. But in general, just another good day for him. So that's the way it goes, though, in these games. I don't have too much else to add. I was just looking at something on here quick just to see, like, the money spent. I was talking about this earlier, Hoop. Like, if you put Bijan, Cook, Rome, London, random defense, whatever, it's like you can still get to those guys easily, but I don't know. It's hard to say what the ownership does there on Caleb, but I got a feeling it's still going to be like 25 to 30, and that's what it's right now.
Also interesting, and correlation stuff really doesn't matter at all on these 2-game slates. They're not at all for the most part. But you have 3 quarterbacks, I think, that most people are fine playing without a pass catcher. Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, Caleb Williams. On main slates, people are fine playing those 3 without pass catchers. Definitely Allen and Daniels. So I think it opens up more sorts of roster construction builds that we see tonight because of the fact that those guys will be played. And it is hard just naturally to play a quarterback naked on a 2-game slate, but I think it will be more in play for people when they go to build.
One more question on that, because we're kind of wrapping it up anyway. It's like defenses. We talked about, like, you can play your defense against quarterback. It's a 2-gamer, all those factors and whatever. But what about the Josh Allen, James Cook factor? Like, James Cook is still showing 60 to 65% range ownership. But do people want to play him with Josh Allen as much? Obviously, there will be lineups that exist like that. I mean, more if you go Josh Allen, for example, what's the next step for you? It's probably like Bijan and Bill and put those two in and like skip over Cook to start with. I don't know. Like, and then what? You go Rome, London, pick a guy. Let's say your guy is Shakir. I'm not going to build the whole thing, but I'm just trying to get to like an idea here, like where people could end up. Maybe it's Kincaid. That's where it's interesting, because then you kind of land on a 2 tight end build almost if you wanted.
And I should go back and say I'm fine with the 2 tight end builds, but I want it to be with the main dudes. I don't want it to be like Ertz and then one of those shit balls like, I don't know, Dawson Knox or something like that. Like, I'm fine.
You're chirping like, Ertz? No Ertz?
No. I'm fine. Like, if it's the main guys like Pitts and Ertz or Ertz and Kincaid, I don't want it to be like Ertz
with a low,
with a random dude. I guess so. I'm fine with the main dudes in there, because I mean, Pitts and Ertz are probably option 2 on both their teams in terms of pass catchers tonight. So I'm fine with those sort of double tight ends. I just don't want a tight end and then one of these random shitters.
I definitely am interested in Loveland. We're getting Tyler Warren medium for 3,100 for soft pricing, lower pricing. So we'll take that. I mean, that's certainly interesting. And then you could pair him up with Caleb, as that's going to really cut into anything that happens on the Caleb side anyway. The number one thing I know is Swift will be much lower owned than the other 3. Cook, Bijan, then Cook, then Bill. And I know the ownership show is kind of close right now. We'll have updates to lock. I definitely think he'll end up coming in a little lower just from everything I'm seeing. Then I think Caleb kind of is right in that range, 25 to 30. But Loveland will definitely slice and dice anything you're doing with Odunze, with Whaley. Like, Odunze is going to be owned for sure. So anything you're doing there, Loveland is a nice way just to cut into that. And that's why I call it slice and dice, because you're kind of just mixing it in to make it lower owned, that as a combo throughout. And I think that's probably the way title. Is there anything else you have that you wanted to mention at defense, or anything else from that standpoint?
Well, yeah, just a slice and dice. Like, why I'm fine not playing Penix or playing Jaden Chalk or Josh Chalk and all that is they're like every team, Curtis Samuel, Josh Palmer, the McCaffrey, there's just so many pass catchers that are going to be under 10% that are going to be on the field a ton. So you can play Chalk, Bijan, James Cook, Jaden Daniels, then you play Luke McCaffrey. Well, that 4% right there that you talk about, like in 100,000 people, you just limited so many. I'm going to be, whatever quarterback I'm playing, I'm so much more likely to play these sub 10% cheap wide receivers on that same team, because you get the touchdown correlation. Now, I want you guys to try and sell me on something from defense, because we talk about on main slates. Like, this week it didn't show. Millie Maker had 4 at defense because he got booty right or whatever, even though some defenses scored. But usually, like, you'll need the right defense today, and it's the most volatile position. It's so annoying. I want almost X one, and then I'm looking at him, and it's like, do I just X Falcons because Josh Allen's a beast? But I don't know. Like, they're going to be low owned. I can't get a grasp on defense. I'm either going to be boring and be somewhere around the field on all, because I want to make stands at other positions I feel better at, or maybe you guys can convince me on hoping one of these pay the rake and I can fade. So I'm all ears in terms of D.
I guess Go ahead, Hoop. Yeah.
I was going to say it's tough. It's definitely tough. I mean, the obvious one would be the Falcons. I mean, going against Josh Allen, he runs the ball a ton, doesn't make many mistakes, but then it's like, all right, it's a 2-game slate, and one play, if some random thing happens where, wide receiver drops the ball, they pick it up and run it in for a touchdown, then you need them. So I'm always hesitant to make the big stands at defense, just because it's literally one play and they're optimal. It's tough. Like with the quarterbacks, you make the stand at quarterback, it's 4 quarters of play and they have to continue to pile on the points and all that. With defense, literally one play and you might just need them. So I don't know. My favorite is going to be the Bills, though. I mean, it looks like Washington's more popular because they're cheaper, but I like the Bills. I'm sticking with that. And the 3.5, I don't give a shit. If I lose money betting on the Bills favored by 3.5 in Atlanta, cool. Like, we move on and I'll find another way to blow some money. But I am going to bet on the Bills tonight at -3.5 for sure.
Yeah, I like the bet still. I'm sticking with that. But title, like, the other thing is speaking of the slice and dice, like, it's right there. 90% Bijan and 10% Atlanta Falcons. Like, cut into it. Like, let's just hope that's the way it goes, or however you want to set it up. But it's the opposite of probably the most popular defense. I guess Washington could be up there, but I honestly still think the Bills, people just have the money, and that's where they're going to be able to get to it. And it's $200 more than Washington. They're against the Falcons. I just assume that's what people will do. We'll see. Ownership right now shows the Commanders could have a little bit more, and that's possible. But yeah, either of those two are going to be popular anyway. I like Atlanta on the opposite side for cheaper and as a way to cut into it. Plus, you can have like a James Cook 2-touchdown game, and it's like, again, the defense is not for a shutout here. There's not going to be a shutout is my bold statement for tonight with these two games, the way they're setting up. I don't think we're seeing a shutout.
Can we parlay that with the Bills tonight?
Yeah, yes. What is it, like -20? Like, it's not, the odds are going to be up there. So I think that's an interesting way to look at it as well. But yeah, I think Atlanta's the one that is a little more standout from that perspective. You could say the same thing about the Bears, but like, imagine a Bears Swift combo tonight. That is like the it's the fourth owned running back, I would say. And then it's the probably 18% owned defense or something is like what I'm seeing. So I think like that's another fine way to do it and get different in that combo, and then be focused in on that first game. Hope that we do get the back and forth, and it'll be the backdoor cover, Hoop. It'll be 31-28 or something like that. And like, oh, we got the win, but only by 3.
I do like that combo though, the Swift Bears D, because you're talking about definitely the fourth highest owned running back, with 3 clear plays above him, and then a defense that probably third in ownership. So I think that is appealing.
Maybe I didn't bring this up because it's not affecting any of my builds. Like, it's yellow. Kevin Roth has it, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds, decent chance of showers, but again, it's all baked into everything. But that alone, maybe. I mean, Caleb can make mistakes, so it's the chalkiest defense right now. It's showing in Commanders, but I guess if I had to pick one right now, it's maybe them. But yeah, you talked me out of just making a dumb move at defense and being stone dead, so I'll be playing all 4.
Yeah, I think that's the way on the slate. I like that. Just looking at some of the stuff you can do, like, the Josh Allen lineups are different for sure. So we'll see how it actually shakes out. Obviously, you can put all the tools, go over to SHIPIT Nation if you want to check it out. Use code SHIP19. That's a way to try it out. Get in the Discord, start chatting with the community. All these conversations carry on after these shows, which is nice. If you are just joining us, hopefully you enjoyed Title in a crop top. Make sure to hit the like. Hoop, do you want to do any extra for Showdown? Or is there anything you brought up for that, or anything else you want to add to it?
The one thing that stood out was these wide receivers for sure are going to be even cheaper for the Showdown slate. I haven't pulled it up specifically, but I know some of them are like $200.
Chris Moore's $200.
Yeah,
the Stone Min.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that has a real projection. I mean, he's going to be projected between 5 and 7 fantasy points. So we haven't really had a ton of Showdown slates where there's a clear $200 play. And the one thing I will say about those, people think they're going to get all this steam and get so popular. They don't. It's always held in check, because when you play them, you're still leaving a lot of money on the table. So it's never going to get to a point where you have to fade it. Like, a lot of times we think these cheap guys that have real projections are going to get so high in ownership, and it never fully gets there, because you're going to have to leave a lot of money on the table. It goes back to the same thing we're talking about, this 2-game slate. People don't like doing that. So that's one thing that definitely stood out there.
Yeah.
There's so many cheap options. Like, salary is so super soft. I mean, you're talking a lot of guys with real projections under 3.5K. Zacchaeus, Kmet, Loveland, Lane, McNichols. You can go on and on.
Yeah.
So that was also Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, like Adunze. It's going to be a lot more concentrated at captain because you have the money to do it. So that's the easy breakdown, I think, for that game.
Yep. We'll have it all covered. It'll be on the site, so you guys can check it out. I know the slate plan will go up shortly. The projections, ownership, the stone for the featured game. I think it's, what is it, 250K up top of that one tonight, or is it 200?
I know it's $15, 47,000 people. I had either one. It's pretty good. Yeah, let's see.
500K, and then the Showdown slate for that. So the first one's the stupid 100K. Yeah, it's 200K for $15 is that one for tonight.
Yeah.
So,
I like it.
All right, Hoop, any final thoughts from you before we get out of here?
No, sir. Yeah, good luck to everyone. I mean, these 2-game slates, a little bit different, change of pace. I like them. Hopefully we can get some of these SHIPIT Nation logos at the top of the leaderboard. Feeling good about tonight.
Play to win. Title, do you want any final thoughts? Because you opened up the show with the crop top. I know I kicked it your way already, but anything else you want to say about that? Because some people are just joining now and they're seeing the beginning thing. What's going on? At least if they stay to the end, they'll get a final rebuttal.
Yeah, I lost a bet. I lost a lot of cheese yesterday, and I'm hoping this 2-gamer can help me get some back. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, man, that's the outro. All right, we appreciate you guys. For Title, for Hoop, and for myself, ToeTagginTambo. Let's ship it!